Hi everyone, it's Patricia. Today I would like to show you guys a tutorial as my first video of the year. So I was asked how to create these pillow boxes by a couple of ladies. And it's very simple. The secret to these pillow boxes are basically in the cat's eyes. And what I mean by cat's eyes, it's this part right here. Basically, these two half circles will have to meet at the end. So the box could fold evenly. And you could create all different sizes after you make the first one. You could make your own sizes. You don't have to buy a die. I know there's a die out there by Sizzix, but you don't have to. As you can see, there is different sizes you can make at home. Basically, you just have to learn how to make the first one, and then you could play with different sizes. What I recommend is when you do make a size that you like, make a template for yourself like that. You don't have to go through the whole process again, and you can always just go back and trace it, and it'll be easier to make them. Okay, so let me get started. Let me just move these things out of the way. So I'm going to use a 12 by 12 paper, and all you need to do to make two boxes is score it at 5.5. So I'm going to score at 5.5, and I'm using my own score knife. I'm not using the one that comes with the scoreboard because I don't like it. It doesn't feel comfortable in my hand. So now I'm scoring at 11, and the reason I'm scoring at 11 is because I want an inch left over so I can have enough support to hold my box together. You could score it at 1/2 inch if you like, but then you have to change the measurements. So now I'm going to just flip my paper sideways, and now I'm going to score it at 6. Okay. So now since I scored at 6 and there's a mark there for me, I'm just going to take an X-Acto knife already, and I'm going over the 6, and I'm already going to cut my paper. So I just want to make sure it's cut evenly. You don't have to do it this way. I just like it because it's easier and it's done already for me. And now I'll just remove the scoreboard so you guys can see what I'm doing better. Okay, so let me just grab a paper. So I just want to fold it at this 1 inch, and I want to fold it where I scored it at 5.5 inches. So I want the outside, I don't want the inside. You want to do it with the double-sided design paper just to look nicer when you open up the package. So now for the cat's eyes on the box. I recommend going up to at least 2 inches. I start off making them a 1/2 inch first. So this is the 1/2 inch cat's eye. And then I made 1 inch. And then the next size I went was 1.5 inches. And then the biggest was 2 inches. I haven't passed the 2 inches limit. Okay, so now to get started making our cat's eyes on the boxes. What I recommend using as a template for the first time, it will be like a paper plate or a plastic plate, something round if you have in your scrapbooking room. Like that, it just gives you enough space to go onto the paper and make that cat's eye circle. Okay, so all I'm going to do is going to flip my papers the other way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Like that won't be dark. So what I would do from beginning, if you want a 1/2 inch as a cat's eye, I will measure from the edge of the paper 1/2 inch, and I'll mark where my 1/2 inch mark will be. If you want 1 inch, you'll mark it where your 1 inch is so you know where to go in with the paper plate and do your circle. Okay, to save some time, I already have a template made. So this is my template for now, and it's the same size paper. Basically what I'm going to do is just going to put my paper over the other paper and go with a pencil and trace my circle down just to cut it off then. And I did keep my flap in, and then we will cut it off the corners of that edge too. So I'm just going to place it here again, and I'm going to trace it again with the pencil. So it's easy having this template made already, like that. It saves us time. So you just want to combine both of the papers together and go with your scissor and cut off where the mark is from the 1/2 circle. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so that's done. So now we're going to open up our paper. And as you guys can see, it still has these pointy edges on the edge. So all I'm going to do is just going to fold it back up. And I'm going to, over here, and I'm just going to chop that off like a triangle shape. So you will cut off like a triangle. The reason we're cutting off the triangle is because when you fold it in, it'll be perfect like that. Okay, so that's done. So now I'm going to make the other side for the cat's eye. So I want my cat's eye to be 1.5 inches. If you want 1 inch, you will score at the inch for the cat's eye. But I want 1.5 inches, so I already have a template for that. And the cat's eye, basically the size you choose, it will depend on the size of the box you want. Because if you make it only 1/2 inch, the box will be wider. So I'm going to make my cat's eye 1.5 inches. And I have the template already, so I basically will match these two corners together. Because you want the corners to match at the end. That's the secret right here, guys. If these are off, the box will not close properly. So you would do that to both sides of the box. Normally, I just take my scoring tool and score it like that. I'll have a pencil mark on there. But just to show you guys the mark, I'm going to do it with the pencil also. Okay, I just want to make sure it's already scored also. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to match the two corners together. Okay, and do the same thing. Okay, turn it around and do the same thing to the other side. These boxes are really fun to make because you can store goodies in it, give it in the racks or swaps. Just a fun way for your partner to open up in the swap. Okay, so now they're scored. And now I'm just going to fold the cat's eye in. I can show you guys. And then I was asked if I can do them with glue dots. Yes, you can use glue dots on the boxes. I normally use Scotch. So I normally use Scotch, or the quickest thing will be glossy accents. And you can use crackle accents if that's the only glue you have. You can use Mod Podge. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it with glue dots like that. You can see that it does work with glue dots also. Okay, so now it's scored. As you guys can see already, the shape taking place. So this is what it will look like when it's finished, but I don't want this side. I want the other side, so I'm just going to turn it around and fold it the other way. Okay, so now I'm going to put my glue dots down so you guys can see. I will put on this flap right here. So I already have strips of glue dots cut out. So I just want to make sure it's on the edges. And I'll use 4 glue dots for this one. So these are nice size glue dots. As you guys can see. They're not the tiny ones. And the reason I'm putting them at the edges is because I want support more at the edges. And then I'll put 2 also in the center for support also. So there's 4 glue dots there. And now I'm just going to grab the other side, make sure they match, and glue them down. Okay. So now I just want to fold my edges in. And that's it, guys. It's done. To make the bigger size, you will need will be a 12 by 12 paper. You will square it at 11 and 5.5 inches, and the cat's eye will be 1.5 inch, or you could do a 1/2 inch, whatever size you desire. And basically the same idea. You will put the glue dots. I'm using glue dots again just to show you guys that you can use glue dots. I'm just going to peel them off the papers. Okay, so you guys will score at 11 and 5.5 inches. But the moment you make the first one, guys, you're going to see how easy it is, and you'll make your own sizes and your own unique templates. So I'm just going to pop that open. So I'm just going to fold in my flaps on both sides. And that's it, guys. Wasn't that so easy to make? The moment you make one, you'll make so many. As you guys can see, you can make all different kinds of shapes and sizes. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my first tutorial, and hopefully this will boost me up to making many, many more in the future. And as always, happy scrapping. Bye, guys.